Sarah stood in her pristine, sun-drenched kitchen in a quiet American suburb, her fingers tracing the cold marble countertop, even though the room was filled with golden light. Everything around her looked picture perfect, yet a hollow, heavy chill settled deep in her chest. She turned slowly toward the large family portrait hanging on the wall, staring at the radiant, laughing woman in the frame. "Who is she?" Sarah whispered to the silence, realizing with a shiver that she was looking at a stranger living her own life. It didn't happen overnight. It was a slow, quiet fading. At 18, Sarah packed her bags for an Ivy League law school. She didn't dream of statutes or courtrooms, but her father did. He saw a legacy. She saw a duty. She studied until the sun came up, chasing grades just to keep a smile on his face. Then, just like that, she was 25. The wedding was a masterpiece of tradition. Her mother picked the flowers, the venue, and the man. He was stable, successful, and the right choice. Sarah smiled for the cameras, convincing herself that if everyone else was happy, she must be too. By 30, the pace quickened. Promotion followed promotion. A corner office, a designer wardrobe, a grand house with a manicured lawn in the heart of the suburbs. She was running a race she never signed up for, yet she was winning. But the faster she ran, the less she could breathe. Inside that beautiful house, she realized she never played her favorite jazz records because they were too messy for her husband's taste. She never painted anymore because there was no room for hobbies in a high-powered life. Every time she chose someone else's dream over her own, she was laying a brick. One for her father's pride, one for her mother's social standing, one for the neighbor's envy. Slowly, these bricks became a wall, thick and cold, separating Sarah from her own heart. She had become a ghostwriter for her own life, carefully crafting every chapter, every sentence, and every word, only to realize the name on the cover was hers, but the story belonged to everyone else. She was living in a palace she built, yet she felt like a prisoner in its cellar. Sarah fled the house, her breath coming in jagged gasps. She reached the weathered wooden fence at the back of her garden and sank to the ground. The tears came then, not loud, but heavy, as she realized the perfect life she had built was actually a cage. In the garden next door, Mr. Miller was standing among the shadows. He had been an artist once, a man who saw color where others saw gray. He didn't rush over with empty words of comfort. He simply stood there, holding a green garden hose, watching the water pool at his feet. After a long moment, he gestured toward a row of brittle gray saplings near the fence. "Sarah," he called out softly, "could you hold this for a moment? I need help watering these trees." Sarah stood up, wiping her face with the back of her hand. She looked at the trees. They were skeletal, their bark peeling, their branches snapping in the light breeze. They had been dead for seasons. "Mr. Miller," she said, her voice trembling. Why would we do that? These trees are dead. There's no point in pouring water into soil that can't give anything back. It's a waste of life." The old man stopped. He turned to her with eyes that seemed to see right through the walls of her expensive house. "You are exactly right," he said, his voice as calm as a still lake. "It is a tragedy to spend your strength on something that cannot grow. But tell me, Sarah, isn't that what you do every morning?" Sarah felt a sudden chill. "I don't understand." "Every day," Mr. Miller continued, "you water your status, you water your house, you water a version of yourself that lives in other people's minds. Those things are just statues. They are cold. They are dead. And while you stay busy tending to them, the real Sarah, the roots of who you actually are, is turning to dust. You are watering the ghost while the living soul inside you is dying of thirst. Mr. Miller leaned against the fence, his voice dropping to a gentle whisper. Think of your life as a grand house, Sarah. Most of us spend our entire lives decorating the living room. We buy the finest furniture, hang the most beautiful paintings, and keep the lights burning bright. All so that when people look through the window, they see perfection. We do this because we are afraid. We fear that if we show them the mess, the dust, or the true colors of our own heart, they will walk away and leave us in the dark. He looked back at her house, its windows reflecting the setting sun. But while you are busy polishing the living room for guests who might never even stay, where are you living? You've locked yourself in the basement. You stay in the shadows of your own home, quiet and invisible, just so the house looks right to the world. That is the difference between existing and living. Existing is maintaining the building. Living is being the light inside of it. Sarah looked down at her hands. I just wanted them to be proud, she whispered. And that is a beautiful thing, Mr. Miller said softly. Wanting to make your parents happy, wanting to be a good wife, that comes from a place of deep kindness. It isn't a sin to care. But Sarah, using your kindness to commit soul suicide is a tragedy. You've become a shadow because you think the light belongs to everyone else. But a shadow cannot feel the sun. A shadow cannot love or be loved. If you disappear completely just to keep their world perfect, then there is no one left to enjoy the life you've worked so hard to build. It's time to stop being a guest in your own house. It's time to come upstairs. Sarah walked back into her house, but the air felt different. She went straight to her room and took off the stiff, expensive blazer that had felt like armor. She pulled on an old, oversized wool sweater, the one she used to wear when she was simply herself. With a deep breath, she turned on her record player. The room filled with the warm, messy sounds of jazz. She sat at her desk, opened a blank notebook, and finally began to write words that were meant for no one but her. From Sarah's story, we learn that a house is just a building until someone truly lives in it. Your life is your home. It only becomes warm and bright when the owner is present. Don't spend your years as a guest in your own life. What is one thing you do just to please others? Comment below and promise to change it today. Stay authentic and find your way home.